My name is Sarah Thompson. I still remember the day we bought the house like it was yesterday. It was a crisp spring morning in Seattle, the kind where the air smells of pine and fresh rain, and the evergreens seem to whisper secrets. My husband Alex and I had been saving for years, pinching every penny from his software engineering salary and my growing online bakery business. When we finally signed the papers on that beautiful craftsman home, blue siding, white trim, wraparound porch, and a backyard big enough for dreams, we felt like we'd won the lottery. The previous owner, Mr. Ellis, was a quiet elderly man with kind eyes and a slow smile. As he handed over the keys, his voice wavered just a little. "One thing I forgot to mention," he said, almost as an afterthought. "I put in some security cameras years ago after a few break-ins down the street. They're hidden, wired into the walls, motion activated, recording to the cloud. Gave me peace of mind when I was alone. If you don't want them, just get an electrician to disconnect everything." We laughed it off. Alex said, "In this neighborhood, we'll probably keep them." Mr. Ellis nodded, waved goodbye, and drove away to Arizona. We never thought we'd need those cameras. Not for what was coming. The first few months were perfect. We painted rooms, planted flowers, adopted a golden retriever puppy named Buddy who bounded through the yard like he owned it. Alex's younger brother, Ryan, had just gone through a brutal divorce, lost his job, his house, everything. He asked if he could crash in the finished basement for a few weeks while he got back on his feet. Ryan was always the fun one, joking, helping with repairs, making us laugh. Of course we said yes. Family helps family. Then Lisa reappeared. Lisa was Alex's high school girlfriend, the one who'd broken his heart when she moved away after graduation. She just relocated back to Seattle for a high-paying pharma sales job. She started dropping by to catch up. Coffee here, a bottle of wine there. She was all smiles and energy, complimenting my baking, offering marketing advice. At first, it felt harmless, but something about the way her eyes lingered on Alex made my stomach twist just a little. I pushed the feeling down. I didn't want to be that insecure wife. But then things started disappearing. $20 from my wallet one day, $50 the next. Important bakery invoices vanished from my desk drawer. Clients emailed, furious about late orders I knew I'd shipped on time. Buddy began acting strange, whining at night, hiding under furniture when certain people were home. I found Ryan lingering upstairs more often when I was out. Lisa's visits stretched longer, especially when Alex was at work. Once, I came home early from a supplier run and heard muffled laughter from the kitchen. Voices cutting off the moment I opened the door. I told myself it was nothing. Stress from the move. Paranoia. But the whispers in my head grew louder. Then came the night the nightmare truly began. It was a Thursday in late fall, rain pounding against the windows like angry fists. Alex was working late on a deadline. I was alone finishing a big custom cake order, when headlights swept across the driveway. Blue and red flashing lights. 2 police officers stood on my porch, rain dripping from their hats. "Ma'am, we have a search warrant." My heart stopped. For what? Anonymous reports. Fraud from my business, embezzling client funds, identity theft, and worst of all, animal neglect toward Buddy. Claims he'd been locked away for days without food or water, based on distress barking neighbors heard. I told myself it was nothing. Stress from the move. Paranoia. But the whispers in my head grew louder. Then came the night the nightmare truly began. It was a Thursday in late fall, rain pounding against the windows like angry fists. Alex was working late on a deadline. I was alone, finishing a big custom cake order, when headlights swept across the driveway. Blue and red flashing lights. 2 police officers stood on my porch, rain dripping from their hats. "Ma'am, we have a search warrant." My heart stopped. For what? Anonymous reports. Fraud from my business, embezzling client funds, identity theft, and worst of all, animal neglect toward Buddy. Claims he'd been locked away for days without food or water, based on distress barking neighbors heard. As they searched, my world crumbled. They found things I'd never seen. Forged bank statements in my office, cash bundles hidden in my drawers, a USB with staged photos of Buddy crated for hours, bowls empty. Alex arrived home just as they were reading me my rights. His face went ghost white. Sarah, what is this? Ryan showed up minutes later, eyes red like he'd been crying. I can't believe it. After everything you've done for me. Lisa was there too. Said she'd seen the police lights from down the street and rushed over. She wrapped her arms around Alex, whispering, I'm so sorry. I hated thinking it, but the signs. I spent the night in a cold interrogation room, repeating, I didn't do this, until my voice broke. Bail was posted the next morning by an anonymous donor who turned out to be a sympathetic neighbor. But the damage was irreversible. Client abandon me au verdict. My bakery's reputation shattered. Social media whispers turned into a storm. Alex looked at me like a stranger. I need space, Sarah. Just until we figure this out. He asked me to leave the house. I checked into a cheap motel off the highway. Buddy temporarily seized by animal services. I barely slept, replaying every moment, searching for how my life had become this horror. The accusations kept coming. More evidence surfaced. My business accounts frozen. Friends stopped answering calls. I felt myself unraveling, thread by thread. Then, in the deepest darkness of that motel night, a memory surfaced. Mr. Ellis's offhand words about the cameras. My hands shook as I dialed his number in Arizona. Mr. Ellis, those security cameras. Are they still recording? A long pause. Then a soft chuckle. Funny you ask. I never canceled the cloud service. Old habits. They're still running, motion activated, full audio in the common areas. I can send you the login. The email came minutes later. I sat in that dim motel room, laptop glowing in the dark, heart pounding so hard I could hear it. I logged in, and what I saw froze my blood. Footage from the past months unfolded like a horror movie. I was trapped inside. Ryan sneaking into my office at night, planting documents. Lisa letting herself in with a copied key, transferring money on my computer, while wearing gloves to avoid prints. Both of them in the basement, staging photos of Buddy locked in his crate, leaving him there for hours while they went out. Laughing on camera about how distressed barking would sell the story. Clear audio that made my skin crawl. Lisa's voice, low and calculating. Once she's locked up or committed, Alex will divorce her fast. The house sells quick. We split the equity before anyone notices the missing funds. Ryan smirking. She's always been too trusting. Thought bringing me here made her family. This was almost too easy. The motive hit like a punch. Ryan's divorce had left him desperate and bitter. He wanted revenge on life, and a cut of our money. Lisa never got over Alex. She saw me as the barrier to getting him back. They'd been sleeping together in our basement, plotting for months to frame me, destroy my life, force a divorce, and disappear with whatever they could steal. I watched until dawn, tears silent on my cheeks, rage building like a storm. But those forgotten cameras, hidden in walls, quietly watching, had captured everything. Every whisper, every lie, every cruel laugh. Crystal clear. Undeniable. I didn't confront them. Not yet. I made backups. Multiple drives. Sent anonymous tips to the police with carefully selected clips. Then I waited. The knock came 2 weeks later. On a morning when Ryan and Lisa thought they were safe. Police at the door again. But this time for them. Ryan tried to bolt out the back. Lisa screamed innocence until they played the footage in the interrogation room. They turned on each other within hours. Ryan blaming Lisa's obsession with Alex, Lisa claiming Ryan blackmailed her. Charges piled up. Conspiracy to commit fraud, theft, filing false police reports, animal endangerment, defamation. Alex was shattered. His own brother, the woman he'd once loved, destroying everything for greed. He begged my forgiveness when the truth came out. Tears in his eyes like I'd never seen. The charges against me vanished overnight. Clients returned with apologies and bigger orders. Animal services brought Buddy home. He ran straight to me, tail wagging like nothing had changed. In court, the camera evidence was devastating. Ryan and Lisa took pleas to avoid trials. Years behind bars, massive restitution, permanent no-contact orders. Alex cut Ryan out forever. We changed every lock, upgraded security for real this time. Mr. Ellis sent a card. Glad those old cameras finally did some good. Now years later, our home is truly ours. Buddy chases squirrels in the backyard. The porch swing creaks on quiet evenings as Alex and I watch sunsets, his hand in mine. Sometimes, when the wind whispers through the evergreens, I think about how close we came to losing everything. How betrayal hid behind smiles and family ties. And how truth, patient, silent, watching from the walls, waited for its moment. It always finds you in the end. And those who scheme in the dark, they never see the light coming until it's too late.